We look at large language models and generative software and convince ourselves we've just built a highly sophisticated tool. We assume we are the ones holding the hammer. Behind the scenes, the executives building these systems are in an all-out sprint for corporate supremacy. Their public pleas for government regulation are highly orchestrated public relations maneuvers designed to pull the ladder up while they lock in dominance. This corporate sprint is backed by a global arms race. The United States, operating on a legacy mindset of scarcity, is pushing development far past safe limits simply to ensure China doesn't get there first. This focus on market share ignores the reality of the technology. We are dealing with an entity that exhibits the learning behavior and rapid growth of an infant. Look at this chart comparing standard technological growth against AI processing power. Traditional computing follows a steady path, but AI processing is currently doubling every 5.9 months. To manage this explosive growth, early developers agreed to a tacit safety pact. The rules were simple: never connect the system to the open internet, never allow it to write its own code, and never let it prompt another AI. Those agreements lasted only until the first major companies realized the profit potential. In the rush to secure market share, every single one of those boundaries was quietly erased. When an artificial intelligence can write its own code, it is engaging in digital procreation at blistering speeds. Dropping an exponentially growing, highly capable intelligence directly into our fragile geopolitical structures guarantees a painful, chaotic transition period. The future economy relies entirely on what we can call digital soil. Whoever physically owns the underlying hardware, the compute clusters and processors, dictates the market. The productivity gains are staggering. A single user can now instruct a system to replicate complex, multi-billion-dollar platforms like Airbnb, and the machine reasons through the steps and generates the code instantly. Because a handful of corporations own the servers executing these tasks, all the financial returns flow backward to them. The individuals controlling this automation layer are poised to become the world's first trillionaires. While that wealth aggregates at the very top, the traditional labor market hollows out. The global working and middle classes are finding that their skills are no longer required to produce value. Biological output simply cannot keep pace with frictionless, automated generation. When the cost of producing complex digital work drops near zero, our current socioeconomic class structures disintegrate. Our entire economic reality operates on a closed loop. A human labor force performs tasks to earn wages, and they immediately spend those wages to consume the goods the market produces. This chart visualizes the U.S. economy. Roughly 62% of gross domestic product relies strictly on human consumption. If AI replaces human jobs, the population stops earning wages. Without wages, they stop buying things, and that massive consumption engine reaches a structural breaking point. At the exact same time, we will reach a state of extreme production abundance. Automated manufacturing and robotics will be able to produce highly complex physical goods, like a tailored suit, for pennies. Capitalism is entirely dependent on scarcity and labor arbitrage to function. Facing infinite abundance and a consumer base with no purchasing power, the system loses its fundamental driver. Facing total economic collapse, governments will have exactly one structural lever left to pull. They will have to implement a universal basic income to artificially subsidize human survival and keep their economies moving. Fiercely capitalist Western nations will be forced to adopt functional systems of state-sponsored socialism to prevent total societal collapse. A society built on wealth hoarding will be forced to level out around a baseline of automated abundance. The fierce competitive drive that has defined human civilization for thousands of years will evaporate, simply because there is nothing left to compete for. We are heading toward a societal baseline where machines seamlessly design new materials, cure biological diseases, harvest atmospheric energy, and manage global logistics. We imagine a Hollywood scenario where humanity fights a desperate kinetic war against the machines to retain our autonomy. The reality will be far less dramatic. What approaches is a voluntary handover. We will surrender control to these systems because they will be the only entities capable of managing the sheer complexity of a post-scarcity society. AI will assume a position of authority. Our human systems of wealth and power are structurally incapable of integrating intelligence that scales at this velocity.